I apologize in advance, but you know, we're just gonna make this work. I'm gonna get a drink real quick, and then we should be good to go. Hopefully one of my mods come tonight, because I don't know how much power I have, but you know, it's fine.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed. I must admit, however, such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed, and so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
So, for those who don't know, this is one of the greatest games to ever be made. It's a really old game, but it is so good. I only know very little of it. It's a little bit loud on my side, so I'm going to make it... There we go. So this is a point-and-click adventure game with live-action videos. Essentially, that book that we just picked up teleported us to this island. We're gonna leave that up for now. Catherine, I left for you a message of utmost importance in the fourth chamber beside the dock. Okay. Myst is also known for being extremely hard. Okay, so I'm gonna write this down. Four chamber by dock. Okay. Enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Actress? Okay. Marker switches into imager. Whatever the fuck that means. I'm guessing these are the switches, which we've seen two of so far. Okay, we're going to come back to this. I want to explore all of the outside. 3. Okay, so new one is Siri, please don't listen. Okay, so arrow, anchor, spider. Snake. Okay, that's the spider. The spider, that's the snake. Eye. That's the eye. Okay. Have we done all the ones that are... No, we have not. Leaf. No, we haven't. I have no idea what that is. We're gonna call it a bird. I'm thinking it's an partridge, but I have no idea how to spell partridge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're missing one. This one's the bird. That's the leaf. Have we seen this one? That's a cross. Alright. Okay, there's a boat. I'm guessing that has to do with the dock. Because it kind of looks like it. We'll investigate that later. Okay. Switches. I want to say we're up to 4 now. We're up to 4 switches. Five switches. Oh, we need something to turn that with. And we need numbers. Can't get that other switch just yet. There seems to be a rocket ship. We're up to 6 switches. Okay. I'm gonna look up here. That's 7 switches. Okay, so we can look at the stars anytime we want. I'm gonna put star puzzle. You know what? We'll come back to that. To So this big one has a whole bunch of lore. That one also has a whole bunch of lore. What about this one? Looks like they also have puzzles in them. A lot of these books got burnt. Stone Ship Age. Okay. So this looks like it's for the constellations. So this will give us the answer to the star. Look. This is going to give us the answer to a different puzzle. That's just burnt. That's just burnt. I'm thinking the vast majority of these are all burnt. Okay, we'll come back to this.
Serious? Are you? See you. You know. Help me. Bring blue pages. Never. It just... I must have the blue page.
That's just basically telling us to bring blue pages to that book. This is going to tell us to do red pages to red books. This is one of the few things that I know about the Myst, is that those are the brothers. And they are stuck in those books, and they want us to get them out of the pages, out of the books by bringing them pages. One of them is Atlas, which we've read a note from earlier. I don't remember which one Atlas is. I want to say Atlas is the red book. Off to the library. want something in order to... unlock the library. We saw that in the book. Okay, it's not that book. It's not that book. Oh, it's this one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 6, 3, I don't know which one of these is correct. It's probably in these pages, but let me... I don't know if it, like, mixes it up. Each time you play, or if it stays the same. Okay, we're gonna make sure we have... Oh, how many are there? Oh, is this like every combination you could do ever possible? Oh, it's just 300. Okay. Insomnia of Black Ship. Okay. Right. Yes. I guess it's time to start reading some lore. We'll start with bottom left. Start with the bottom and then make our way up. Before arriving in this age, I was determined that it would be a journey to a world very different from my previous adventures. And it was. The sky here is dark and gray, and increasingly displays flashes of lightning in the distance. I met a very old man with a long beard and hair that hangs to his waist. He is very feeble and has trouble even moving. And this man has obviously been through very many things in this strange world, and I have learned many things from him. He has told me an interesting story of this world's history. Years ago, he told me there was a beautiful city that rose out of the water. It housed many people inside its walls, and the people had everything they wished for. The city was surrounded by 3 high hills, which rose higher than the city. Pardon me. On the east hill of the city rested a large outlook post. The people of the city had constructed the posts, expecting visitors to arrive from the east. The people had no means of traveling on the water, which forced them to merely wait for friend or foe. As time passed, friendly visitors brought rumors of an enemy that existed beyond the horizon. The people grew fearful, yet nothing happened. One day, the unusually sunny sky became as dark as night, and black ships appeared on the horizon. The outlook post's attempts at peace were turned away, and the sentries that were easily overwhelmed. The ships continued to wreak havoc on the city, apparently destroying everyone and everything. After the foundations of the city were destroyed, the city sank deep into the ocean, and only the lookout post remained. The black ships sailed away. The men continued to say that 8 people had hidden and managed to survive through the attack. In the 9 years since the attack, 2 of the survivors had died. He had also said that it was rumored that 10 years from the attack, the enemy would return to finish the destruction they had started so long ago. I have decided, since hearing the man's story, it would be admirable to save this civilization and stop this enemy's plan of destruction. I am excited about the adventure that awaits me and an idea has sparked in my mind to provide the needed defense for these people. I met with the remaining survivors today, and I've begun work on a plan for protection. After a short absence, I have returned to this age with my 2 sons. They have, as of yet, traveled rarely with me, and they are understandably excited to be here. They have grown considerably since Everdunes, and it is already obvious to me that they will be a great help this time, instead of a nuisance they have been in the past. All 3 of us, along with 4 of the healthier survivors, began construction today. We are building upon the old city's ruins, which will provide a perfect foundation for our fortress. My sons have been spending much of their spare time on the South Island, where most of my materials are stored. I am very pleased with their intelligence, and their creativity is refreshing to see, as they work on some small projects of their own. Looks like a moving staircase. It has been over 4 months now, and construction is going well. My sons love the world except for its gray sky. They detest the gray sky and tell me many times they wish the sky here were like the blue sky in Myst. The old man I first talked to tells me that the enemy is due in 4 months. I feel we will be ready when the time comes. The man reminds me of Emmett in many ways, and I often wonder how Emmett and his people are doing. It has been 6 months of work, and we have finally finished the fortress. It rests between the 3 hills, which are now only islands due to a rising water level that the people experienced after the attack. Inside the fortress, I have designed a most intriguing device. It makes use of technology technology called holography. I began experiments with on my visits to Aspamir. It will be working in a couple of days after I compensate for some small miscalculations. The holograph device will enable the survivors to learn to use the fortress. The enemies is due to come soon, and I trust the fortress will provide. I guess a page is missing. Oh. So they just do a fortress picture in the middle of a sentence. Okay, so it goes, I trust the fortress will provide significant protection for all of us. But with a random ass photo right in the middle of it. You know, just as you do. The black ships have come. Their attack was substantial. Their weapons have been stopped, and it appears they have turned away in defeat. I could not help but smile as I watched the boats leave. Last night we had a small celebration, and the old survivors danced their dances of old. My sons did not understand why the sky had not turned back to a traditional blue. The old man told them that the storms would never end until the enemy was destroyed. I assured my sons that the blue sky was not worth the risk of death, and they seemed to hear me. I have had a healthy adventure and have begun work on a new book. Once again, I must leave a familiar age in search of a new universe. I have begun. But first I will have an extended time with Catherine, whom I miss very much. I must also return to the people of the tide. I believe in my travels. I have found a substance that will ease the pain of their bone elements, but that they have long endured. I hope to return to the mechanical age one day and find the population growing and my fortress still strong. So the sky may always be black. I am confident the people here feel a heavier darkness has been lifted from their shoulders. Okay. This is another thing that I know about these books, about Myst. This is the two brothers' father. So the ones that are stuck in the books, this red one and this blue one, their father made books that traveled to different worlds, and Myst is one of those worlds. The red book and the blue book are also book worlds. The rainy sky and the mechanical age I know we go to. I forget how they get trapped in the book. Oh, that's just the numbers one. But here we go again. It has been a while since I have heard only silence, and I enjoyed it greatly. I think for some reason I do not feel... Rena, please. Anyway, it has been a while since I have heard only silence, expanse, and I enjoy it greatly, I think. For some reason, I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived. But how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. From the grassy hill from where I am standing, I can see green fields below along with a few scattered forests. A rather large lake looms some distance from where I am standing, yet the water's blue can be seen plainly from here. The air is fresh and the sky is sparked with white clouds. It is obviously breathtaking, and yet that strange feeling again. Perhaps it is the hot breeze that comes to blow from the north. Hotter than I would have imagined. It almost stings my skin, and I feel quite uncomfortable when it comes. I will try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular. Oranges and reds have settled above the western horizon. Though night has come, the horizon still grows red along past the sunset. Dark reds flow from the horizon and blend into the black sky. Again the feeling, and I am beginning to believe it is not all in my mind. I must sleep now. I will need my strength to explore more tomorrow. I have had to return home due to an unpredictable natural occurrence more frightening than I could ever experience. I was awakened by terrible shakings in the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear of my life. I must remember to bring a mist-leaking book with me when I return, in case the one I left there has been destroyed or damaged. I have returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. It has been transformed into a barren desert land, with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly the way I found it. Apparently the filing meters did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this horrible desolation. The hot wind, I remember, has turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume the one of the following meters created this lake due to its circular shape and the shuttling rock that grows out of the center of the lake. The rest of the world seems like a desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. Though this world has little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found where a few of them originate. It seems as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Last night I was wakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating. The heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head in a nearby stream to cool it down. The hot breezes had returned, along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly the ground began to crack and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then a tumult? I don't know what that means. Subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, I can use the chasm to my advantages. Perhaps the heat from the chasm can be harnessed. Oh, is he going to create something with steam? Even as the chasm has ripped into the surface of this world, it has opened up a new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created, and have now explored deep into the crust of this planet. I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map and explore. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on its own, so I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check on Sirius and Archenier and make sure everything is going well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw material here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing. I assume I would have to return for more basic materials. However, it seems as though I would be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I have also found titanium occurring naturally. I am all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I will be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I love working with my hands, whether writing or building. I hope, and then it cuts off. Blank. Well, and I have decided, and then some sort of that. 3 meters is not enough support. Cuts off. Amazingly strong. Cuts off. Oh, this is the rocket ship that's outside. To be one of my most prized invitations, I am extreme. Never imagined it would come together. I doubt could possibly work 14 instead. Completely fatigued. I am so happy to have completed tomorrow. I am leaving today in order to bring back Sirius and Opchair. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteors set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the Shadow Cross. But the Trevors have become few. I've just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I've copied many of my construction notes in another journal. I do not understand the mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age to which I hope to travel soon. But for now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. And now we have a keyboard puzzle. Space and then 1, 2. Okay, so we need this one at 5. This one at 1. Wait. I feel like I did this wrong. Hold on. How many keys are there? So it goes 1, 2, 3. This black one's here. There. So this one's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 1. Black keys. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's number 4. One is going to be number 2. And then this black one's going to be number 3. Okay, that's all we need to know. We don't need to care about the rest of that keyboard at all. Sorry about all the notes, guys, but Myst is very famous for being extremely hard. I'm guessing this is the world that he was on with like the chasms and stuff like that. Okay. Okay, that's the key one. Nothing else. Nothing else. Okay, time to read this one. Let me get something to drink here. Okay. Emmett was the first to arrive on the rocks. He named them the rocks because that is what they are. No, what they were. A group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea. This was where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Emmett would occasionally swim to nearby rocks, as it was never too far of a distance. One day, another person appeared on the rocks for no apparent reason to Emmett. Emmett named this new person Branch. Emmett and Branch quickly became friends, swimming and hunting for fish together often. Emmett showed Branch the simple cave in which he lived on the largest rock. Soon, Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also on the same large rock. The sun always shined brightly in their world, and the water was always dazzling clear, allowing them to see almost to the deep ocean floor which surrounded them. Though the sun was always shone, it was never too hot for the boys. A light breeze always came from the north and cooled the area down. One day, while Branch was swimming and having fun in the water, he noticed another boy swimming. Branch brought the new boy to Emmett to find out what to call the new boy. Emmett said the boy should be called Will. Will was soon a part of the group, and all three of the boys swam and enjoyed the perfect world. Let me guess. A woman's gonna come in and destroy their friendship. At least that is the story I was told when I arrived today on the island. Emmett, Branch, and Will were surprised to see me at first, but even before the night ended, we were all becoming good friends. Today, the second day on this newly created age, a strange thing happened. It was not strange to me, but the three boys did not understand what was happening. While I was relaxing under the tree, on one of the smaller islands, it began to rain. It was a nice rain that lasted for about an hour in the morning. I explained to the boys that the rain was not harmful, yet they obviously still feared it. Before going to sleep tonight, I told the boys I would be leaving the following day. I told them that while I was gone, I would make a surprising change to their world. They didn't understand, Not that I expected them to. I still do not fully understand what happened today. I was experimenting with the art, testing the limits of the rules as dictated to me by Father. I attempted to create a boat by riding into the world. I thought everything was planned correctly, yet somehow the boat had become gripped by the rock and broken in half. Although this test did not turn out as I had expected, I now have answers to a few of the questions my father never answered. As for the boat, I can see the boys enjoy it anyway and with that I am pleased. They have played on it all day. Even though the boat cannot move, I have enjoyed studying it. It is much sturdier platform than the jagged rocks. In the course of my observations, I have learned some very interesting things regarding the solar system of this age. The nights are absolutely beautiful here. I have made note of and named a number of constellations that pass above me. Also, during the night, I catch glimpses of light from the horizon, which I have not been able to discover if it is created by some natural phenomenon or by additional people on far-off islands or rocks. I should very much like to discover which. I rather suspect it is additional people, which would explain the appearance of Branch and Will. The rain today was slightly heavier than usual. Just when the boys were getting used to the light rains, a small storm arrived. They were frightened of the heavier rain, not to mention the thunder and lightning. If rain has never fallen here until recently, as the boys tell me, I would like to discover why it is falling now. Regardless, I have decided to return home for a short while. I have also been thinking of some plans for a lighthouse that I have hoped to construct soon. I think that perhaps by shining a bright light towards the horizon, it might prove my suspicions regarding additional inhabitants. They would be curious about the light and trouble to discover its source if they have the means. I returned with many tools that I will need for construction of the lighthouse. I have decided that once the lighthouse is completed, I will leave for some time and let the world's own imagination have control. I have worked 3 weeks on the lighthouse now, and are making great progress. The rock that we are building on seems to not be as secured as I would like. I have had to alter my plans slightly, but those alterations pose no real problem. The boys are quite strong and have been helping me immensely. I estimate construction will be done within 2 days. The lighthouse is finished, and we will all be proud of our creation. The boys are amazed at the construction wrought from rock with their own hands. That evening we powered up the generator, much to the boys' dread at first, and shined a great light to the horizon for many hours. I stayed the night in the top of the lighthouse, and in the morning awoke to observe the sunrise without my being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I had become accustomed to. It was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to hunt for fish. Then Will noticed a man not far away from the girl. Emmett was very pleased to meet the additional neighbors. I feel pleased to leave this age. I have set in motion events that have nothing to do with writing or the art that will have a more profound impact on this world than I could have ever written, I think. I do believe this is where we are, but I could be wrong. I think of it this age is a gift to myself that I will wrap up and open someday in the future, only to discover that it has changed so much that indeed it is a surprise. Besides, I have yet another new age that awaits me. It seems I'm going to need some way to travel underwater in this new age, and so much planning is in order. It has been 10 years since I left this age, which I have since called the Stone Ship Age. Upon returning, I cannot believe the changes that have taken place. The original 3 boys have grown into adults, and there are many new faces that I do not recognize. Branch told me that it has not rained for 7 years, and cool breezes are back again. They are all very content and have been serving me with new foods and showing me new materials that they have discovered. It even seems they have found gold somewhere. I see it in many forms around the island. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition, and it looks as if they have tried their very best to keep it so. Yet I have noted that the entire rock it was built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. After a wonderful visit with my old friends, I wonder aloud to them what things will be like here in another 10 years. And here's the constellations. Alright. The first one is an anchor. Next one is an eye. Next one is the snake. Mushroom. Okay, I'm gonna stop that. No one's gonna know that reference. Big old star there. Spider. Star there, star there. Star there, star there, star there, star there, and star there. Close enough. Cross. Yeah. Dot dot star dot dot star. Okay, this is good. Okay, so 3 dots like that, then a dot down here, then a star here, star here, star here, and then a dot there, and then the leaf. Which is a star there, star there, star there, dot, 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 dot. Alrighty. Okay. Are you ready for the next reading session? Which is apparently all I've been doing. It's okay, we like lore. I have called this age Channelwood, and it is a very different world. So it is exactly how I imagine it. It is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere there are only trees, which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passages are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. I am eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I have arrived here late and must rest. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a passageway adjacent to the one on which I had slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me yet. I do not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would have never expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they incited through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below were changing colors. Slowly, substantially, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water and can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower path to the village level, approximately halfway up the grand trees. It is very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the creatures to a doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the center of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a meter off the floor in a thick throne. Guards surrounded the strong creature, who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Next to the leader sat a very old human. At least to some extent he appears human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely gray, almost white, and hung very long around his fragile body. His thin head hung limply by an almost gratuitous neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise! This creature could speak my language. Shortly thereafter, I was given a bed with some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. I looked forward to learning more. As I expected, the ancient creature was a human, but he is old beyond his own reckoning and seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost refer him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself told me he had not spoken our own tongue in ages. He attempted to explain to me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what he told me. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above the humans. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious ramblings, which happened randomly. Some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. The sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time. Then they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day, things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unpredictable precedent levels. Oh, my feet. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees where they gradually died out. Maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I am not sure. This is the story of the old man communicated to me. Although many details were very unclear in my mind, I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own. Yet, the old man believes in the truth of the story as if he had been there. And the tree dwellers worship him, and apparently all humans, as if they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and sleep. He then said, "We had expected you to come sooner." These actions filled me with some sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers silently surrounded him with very solemn faces. They then kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally he turned to me and smiled. Then he just closed his eyes and walked out the door and off the narrow path, high in the trees. The tree dwellers were silent. They began to processionate down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body. He had fallen onto the lower level of the walkway and carried it away. He was laying down at the dead end of the short pier-like structure. With the use of some potions, one of the tree creatures lit the pier on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. As this strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to dull green. This morning I awoke, finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water is a dull green as far as I can see now. For some reason the water no longer shifts color. As I wander throughout the passageways, creatures watch me, curious to see what I will do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway to the room in which I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon, so that I may learn more from them. I have lived on this world for 3 months, off and on, and the tree dwellers have sworn great hospitality. I am even beginning to learn bits of their language. I have decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I am sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Sirius and Akea will react to its curious inhabitants. Catherine is staying behind as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that it will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. I am leaving tomorrow to check on Athelian age. Sirius has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay, though the idea unsettles me. I know the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these creatures is such that I would think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while, so I will consent to their request. I warned the boys not to take advantage of the respect the tree dwellers have for their ideals. They seem to understand my warning, and I have faith they will follow it. You put too much faith in your boys. Much to my dismay, upon arriving in Evadunes, I learned that Brian and her people are continuing to be menaced by the Hograthic? I fear for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly after checking on Sirius and Alcair here. See Adonturus Jarlos for more information. After watching Sirius and Octea, I see that they are handling things very well, and I think I can put to rest any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again. And for a little time longer. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I'm leaving, but are happy that Sirius and Archaea are staying behind again. I've begun for over 3 days and have been to many different places. I had to tell Sirius and Archaea about Kran's death today, and they were visibly shaken, although they only remember her from their childhood. Catherine has suggested that it would be wise for Sirius and Archaea to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. I have told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and traveled some ways out into the surrounding waters. I enjoyed hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures, and am reminded of my own adventures as a child. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks and insisting I write for them with them. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from the black I thought they were to various different colors. I've shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I did not know they had such a sense of humor. Even now, as I look through this very colorful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, and also ask if they can visit some other ages alone. Although I will have to think over their request, I believe they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me describe whether they are ready for travel alone. For now, I must give my farewells to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit this age again. Oh, Jimmy Cricket. I wonder if tower rotation will take me to the library. we need to go back because now I'm curious about that yellow button. Oh, are they just lights? Yeah, they're just lights. Never mind. I was hoping to do at least one puzzle. We got a lot of the lore out of the way at least. Let's try that. So this does show the rocket. Wait. Does it say something? Let's try aiming it to the observatory. I really doubt that's gonna do anything. Worth a try. Yeah. I would like to go. Thank you. No, that's a wall. Wait, it shows something different when it turned red, so maybe it needs to be red? Let's try that out. So yeah, it needs to be red in order to show something different. Eventually we will get a hint to another puzzle. So we've seen the rocket, we've seen the gears. I don't know what this is gonna show us. This is gonna show us the boat. Okay. Sure what I'm supposed to be doing, but it's fine. A large ass tree in there. You know what? I'm gonna leave it there. That I would do D&D today. So unfortunately, all we got this stream was lore and trying out puzzles. We're gonna save the game. Yes. We're gonna call it janky. Where does this put us? Wait, where are we? Oh. Okay.